Hello and welcome back to Flavor with the Messiah. So today we'll be cooking up some stuffed jalapeno peppers. So let's jump right into. So the things that we'll be using today will be our pepperoni, our shredded cheese, our cream cheese, and the main ingredient are jalapenos. So the first thing that we need to do before we even stuff our jalapenos is to cut them open. So we're going to use a T-shaped cutting to cut a diamond shaped opening so we'll be able to stuff our peppers. And the remaining part that we take out, we're going to use those in our stuffing mix. Once we have cut open and separate the contents of the pepper, we're going to use a spoon to just scrape out that remainder inside with the seeds, and we're going to use all of that in our stuff mix. All right, so when cutting your pepper, please be mindful of how you're cutting it because I kind of cut this one a little bit too wide and too open. So we probably have a problem with stuffing this one, but we'll see. All right, now that we're done cutting open our jalapenos, we have the remaining part. So we're gonna dice these up and get them all small and chopped up so we can mix it in with our stuffing mix. Now it's time to chop up our pepperoni. Yes, pepperoni. We're gonna chop it up the same way kind of how we did our jalapenos. So I'm gonna use one row of the pepperoni out of the pack because the other row we're gonna use later in the tutorial. Now that we have our pepperoni cut up, we're gonna start putting all our other ingredients on top of the cutting board so we can get ready and start our cream cheese mix. So here we have green onions. I have already pre-chopped these up. So we're gonna add this in with our cream cheese mix. We have our garlic parmesan basil butter that we will be topping our stuffed jalapenos off with. And our cream cheese. I'm going to use half of this to make my stuffing because I'm only making a few jalapeno peppers, so I do not need the whole stick. Now it's time for our triple cheddar cheese to be added to our cutting board. And once we add all of these ingredients on here, we're going to get our bowl and mix it all up. Now it's time to make the stuffing. So we have our cream cheese, our diced jalapenos, our green onions, our cheese, and our pepperoni. So we're gonna put our cream cheese in this bowl here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna just add all of our ingredients that's on our cutting board into the bowl. And we are gonna mix it up manually with our hands. Yes, our hands. All right, you guys, so mixing up this stuffing mix can get pretty messy. So we're gonna put on some gloves, our PPE, okay? And mix this stuffing up. So all that we're doing is just mixing in the cream cheese with the rest of the ingredients and getting it all smashed up and blended together. So as you guys can see, your stuffing should be thick to a point to where it's pliable to move however you want it to move. If you want to put it in the shape, you can, but it should be so thick to the point to where it's sturdy and it stays in place. All right, you guys, it is time for the stuffing. We have made our stuffing. We have cut open our jalapenos. Now it's time to stuff them with a spoon. So basically, you just grab a spoonful and you just put it in the insert part of the pepper that you cut open and you just stuff it in. Stuff it in with your hands. With the cream cheese being so thick, it should go right in like Play-Doh. All right, so me and this dysfunctional pepper meets again. Remember the pepper that I cut open too wide? It actually worked out in my favor. So we are going to stuff this one, and this is going to be our last one. Then we are going to throw these on the grill. Yes, the grill. But before we throw them on the grill, we have to season them, season our food. So our season of choice today is going to be my chicken seasoning that I have here. I'm going to season the top of these jalapeno peppers very lightly. Then I'm going to come in with another seasoning. It's like a Cajun seasoning. And then last but not least, I am going to use my favorite seasoning I like in the whole wide world, Slap Your Mama, that gives it a Cajun type of spice. As you guys can see, I put separate seasoning on 2 peppers a piece because I wanted to just get a feel of what it tastes like. Here's a closer view for you guys who couldn't see it. So we are done with that part, but we're about to get into something else. And that something else is our triple cheddar cheese. These stuffed jalapenos would not be anything without cheese on the top of it. And we got another ingredient that we're going to throw on the top of it as well before we drop them on the grill. The last thing we will add is our pepperonis. So I've used toothpicks to keep these in because once I put it on the grill, obviously the pepper's gonna spread, it's gonna soften, and stuff might move around a little bit. But we are putting our pepperoni on top of these stuffed peppers. Now that these guys are all prepped and ready, they're ready for the grill. Just wanted to let you guys know there's more than one way to make these. You can also make them in the stove, but I chose the grill today. There you have it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this recipe that I gave you guys today. Please don't forget to follow, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.